Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here to talk about my last video. I wanted to address some of the comments because there were quite a few. I don't talk very often about, how the public actually feels, or at least how my subscribers feel about Ryan Anderson. I know that we're all on the same page when it comes to Gypsy. That is pretty much a given at this point. But I wanted to highlight some of these comments because y'all had some good ones. And I used to do this more often, and I don't know why I kind of slowed down, but reacting to comments, like back when I used to cover Without a Crystal Ball, I would put out a video and then a couple days later I would come back and read the comments. So I need to get back into creating that kind of content because anytime I can, I like to elevate your all's opinions as well. So we're going to go over how y'all feel about Ryan Anderson. I'll give my opinion about it if I have one. And then I also want to share what Gypsy's best friend had to say. Her close comrade Bree was crying on TikTok and pouring her little heart out. So we're going to go over all of that. If you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so in the beginning of this video, I'd like to say there is so much fallout and drama happening within some of the creators on TikTok that cover Gypsy Rose. I don't really know a lot about it, so I don't want to make this a really long-winded rant, but it's such a letdown because you have people that want to make content and then they just so happen to be covering the same person and they kind of support each other to a certain point and then they don't, and then it's like all hell breaks loose. And I've seen this happen in other communities, but like I said, I don't know a lot of what's going on, but people should just be able to make their content. As long as you're not out here breaking terms of service, showing up to someone's house, getting involved in their jobs and stuff like that, I don't agree with. But as far as making content, we all have a voice. Like, I don't understand what the constant toxicity is. It alienates audiences and it makes them feel like they have to pick a side. And like I said, I've seen it before on YouTube and I'm flabbergasted. But let's get into my video. This video does have almost 800 comments on it, so obviously I'm not going to go through every single comment. I'm just going to sort by top comments and let's see what y'all had to say. The first one says, "I am so done with him. I won't waste a minute of my time. I won't waste a minute of my life watching his lives. He's a total idiot." And that's what I said. Like, if it is... And granted, like, I don't trust Gypsy, and I think that what we're seeing is not the full truth. I have a feeling that she probably responded to these and then deleted her responses to make it look like Ryan was crazy. But just the fact that he's giving her the time of day. If I was him and I saw Gypsy Rose in real life and she literally asked me what time it is, I would turn and walk the other way. She has made such a fool out of him, and that's the crazy thing. Someone else said, "Ryan is living proof that there are some people who just cannot be helped." Obviously, when someone makes you look that foolish on such a huge platform, that should be your sign that they don't respect you. And if someone doesn't respect you, why on earth are you out here defending them and complimenting them on their brown hair? Couldn't be me. This is a valid comment. Someone said, "The divorce isn't going to change anything for Ryan. Clearly, he has zero standard or expectations from Gypsy as a person. She can schmurder, cheat, have a child outside their marriage, show the world embarrassing stuff about him." Fair enough. This comment says, "Ryan thinks he can fix her with love. She cannot love others. She doesn't have that capacity. She sees other people only as things to be used. She'll keep using Ryan as long as he allows it." And that's exactly what I've said. Gypsy Rose utilizes people for a certain purpose and then throws them into the gutter. She's done with you. You are history. And if you can make it out alive, after having been in her life, then I think that you won the lottery. Someone else said, if Ryan takes/wants her back, then I question his mental health or IQ. Someone else said, I've given up on Ryan. He's gone too far. Here's another one. They are all the same. Anyone in Gypsy's crew is as bad as Gypsy is. And that goes for her whole family and BS friends like Brie. They all need to go away. And this is kind of what I was thinking. Gypsy keeps the compliments, deletes her response. LOL. The tiny amount of respect or hope I had for Ryan just went completely out the window. He's a simp. It's totally pathetic. And I hate, I don't like coming up here and like calling somebody pathetic because they're wearing their heart on their sleeve and they have, obviously gone through a tough chapter. But at the same time, at a certain point, you have to realize that you're just looking foolish now. I would never allow somebody to embarrass me on the level that Gypsy has embarrassed Ryan and continue to even acknowledge that they exist. I honestly can't even muster enough feelings to hope he doesn't end up taking her back. He deserves whatever she does if he does. Nobody is going to be on his side again. Nobody is going to be Team Ryan for the second time around. Exactly. Ryan has zero self-respect for himself. I hope Ryan sees this and is very embarrassed. He should be. I think he knows what he's doing is wrong, but it's like he can't stop himself. You were literally engaging with Gypsy, whether or not she was responding and deleted her responses. You were engaging with her and you thought that she wasn't going to throw you in the gutter. She's already done that multiple times. What made you think that she wasn't going to show these messages? I believe both Gypsy and Ryan are still communicating with each other, and Brie needs to stay the hell out of it. It's ironic that she goes on and on about how she complains. Everyone's obsessed with Gypsy, however, she is the one who never shuts up about her. Exactly. And at the end of the video, we'll get into her crying and doing this whole cringy video that she did. My opinion of Ryan has changed so drastically, not for the better. He is arrogant and a big talker that does not make for an attractive man. Someone needs to ask Ryan, is there anything that Gypsy could do or do to you that would be too much and be unacceptable? Because it's disgusting to have no pride, shame, standard, expectation of character in someone. That's extreme. He has allowed Gypsy to bring his humanity to the point of no dignity or respect for himself. That could not encapsulate this situation any better, even if I tried. Ryan is so pathetic, it's hard to feel sorry for him, Jesus. And that's kind of the point that I'm at, where initially it was like, I feel really bad for you. I am Team Ryan. I'm here for the transformation and showing people that, Gypsy, messed up by doing this divorce, and we're going to be on your side, and we are not here for the cheaters and the getting pregnant and being messy. In the back of my mind, though, I always had that little seed planted of, after all, he decided to marry Gypsy Rose when she was still in prison. That's a problem, in my eyes. We all know damn well Ryan wouldn't do a thing if he ran into Ken. He's not a fighter. He's just puffing himself up. He needs therapy. And like I said in this video, I'm hopeful that he has gotten therapy. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he'll ever share that. But either way, I think Gypsy is the first girl Ryan has ever had. That's the way he's acting. It could be. And someone else said, I agree. I actually think he was a virgin. It could have been. I definitely think that it was his first semi-serious. Anything that steps outside of, oh, well, this is casual versus this is actually kind of serious. I think Gypsy was that for him, for sure. And at the same time, I realized that Christy put her nose where it didn't belong, and she was talking to Ken and all of the things. I also don't want to ignore the fact that it was also, it was Gypsy who made her mind up to leave the marriage and go with Ken and get pregnant and all of the things. She was having her fertility tested when she first got with Ken. The low self-esteem from Ryan is starting to be super pathetic looking. I don't feel bad at all for him because you are 1000% right about him taking her back. Such a pathetic man he is. I'm sure Ryan would take Gypsy back and raise Ken's daughter as his own. She has been keeping him as a backup, which is why I no longer have any sympathy for him. It's one thing to be fooled and taken advantage of, but to run and get into that situation again after it's been made clear what happened is pathetic. I agree. I could see him. Gypsy leaving Ken, assuming having a child, going back to Ryan, and Ryan being like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. This is exactly what I've wanted. And he would just let her steamroll right over him again. Someone else said, I believe Gypsy is contacting Ryan and giving him false hope. And that's what I'm saying. I do think that there were responses in that screenshot that were removed. And if Gypsy sent that to Bree and didn't think that Bree was going to expose it, you're crazy. But I think she actually sent it to Bree knowing that it was going to be exposed, just to make Ryan look crazy. Someone else said, I definitely think she deleted messages. And what I want to say too is, I understand that having a low self-worth and struggling with confidence issues and things like that can be super tough. And maybe that's why he went to Gypsy and took her seriously and married her. But having gone through everything he went through and then to take her back or even consider it is my hard stop. One time I could say, okay, that happened, moving on. But for the second time, now it's embarrassing. Someone else said, Ryan low-key likes the attention. That's possible, but that attention is going to dwindle if he continues on the track that he's on. I really want him to come out and clarify, what's the deal? Were there messages that were deleted? Do you have screenshots of that? What is the truth? Because then people will know whether or not they feel comfortable enough to continue to support him. Ryan is full of it. Who was supposed to respect the vows was Gypsy, not her family. You married her, not her family, and that is completely valid. Someone said, you're almost at 50K. Love the growth on your channel. You deserve it. Thank you guys so much. This has been a really exciting, past year for me. I say that every year, but it does seem to get better as each year goes on. I've found so many new subscribers and so many new supporters who will watch my videos whether or not it's about Gypsy. Obviously, I know I have some content that performs better than others, but I'm so grateful that anyone has been willing to take a chance on me. Hitting 50K, I know everyone says this, but for me, having been a small channel for so long, I truly never thought that I would see anywhere near 50K, but I've remained consistent and continued enjoying creating content, which is why I'm so consistent. And I feel like I have a community that really does appreciate my work and what I put into putting out content every day, sometimes twice a day. Once in a while I will take a break, but I'm just thankful to be here. Someone else said, Ryan is making it very hard for us to defend him. I may be done too. And that's the thing, I'm reserving my final decision. And I realize that's not a big deal to anyone, but I'm reserving my final decision until he addresses this, because I do want to hear from him. How is he going to defend this? How is he going to, get people to realize that he's not who he looks like he is right now. Someone else said, he's just hurt. Everyone has been through a heartbreak like this, maybe not to this extreme, but that has broken you down completely. And I have a soft spot for him. But I just feel like that soft spot has dwindled into such a microscopic space simply because he is going so far out of his way to disrespect himself and do it publicly. And for me, you have millions of people that support you. Like, why not capitalize on that new following and do something different instead of chasing the gremlin, you know? Ryan needs a reality check. Ryan should not be coddled. He's a freak of nature and believes Gypsy is still in love with him. He's gross and predatory. Everyone needs to ignore these two. And this person also elaborated, because I was asking if it's okay to color your hair when you're pregnant, because Gypsy went from blonde to brown. And they also said it's fine to color your hair when pregnant. It's only discouraged because hormones can make your hair resistant to color. When I was pregnant, my highlights didn't pull blonde, they pulled orange. So thank you for clarifying that. I had no clue, and now I know. Why is he bragging about being on Lifetime? He probably got 10 minutes of fame and he's acting like a boss. What you're saying is logical. These people have zero logical thinking capabilities. This was a love triangle storyline created by Lifetime producers, Gypsy and Brie, in my opinion. Ryan has my anxiety slapping. WTF, Ryan. I'm so bloody disappointed in him. Where were Gypsy's messages? Brie, I believe, is not truthful at all. They have their own narrative. Why would Ryan be so damn giddy if Gypsy didn't give him hope? And that's what I'm saying. I don't know how many messages, but I am convinced that there are messages that were deleted, that were sent by Gypsy to him. Someone else said, I'm so disappointed with Ryan. There are a lot of those. Oh, someone else said, you can dye your hair when you're pregnant. There are safe options. But a lot of women avoid it because the chemical smell is too much and your hormones can affect the hair color working properly. Nobody, pregnant or not, should dye their hair 6 times in 5 months. Gypsy is nuts. Absolutely. And this comment, we are talking about a man who wrote letters to a schmurderer in prison. Who in their right mind does that? And a special ed teacher at that. He married her and picked her up from prison. Then he blames a man with autism of manipulation on Gypsy. Now, being a special ed teacher, you would think that he would have questions. In my opinion, he couldn't teach my child, just saying they deserve each other, and I've lost all respect for Ryan. I hate screenshots of one-sided conversations. We all know Gypsy was messaging Ryan the entire time. He is pathetic, but Gypsy is still manipulating. Pixie doesn't even like Gypsy. Sympathy equals money. I don't understand Brie's agenda. What is her interest in spreading misinformation? This chick is crazy. I would not put it past Gypsy to have Brie on some kind of payroll. I don't think that she's in a financial position to be able to pay Brie, thousands of dollars a month. But who knows? Like, she could be sending Brie gifts. She could be sending her, care packages, gift cards. Who knows? Gypsy is crazy. So I put nothing past her to have somebody who is so loud and annoying on her side. This is quite a performance. So let's allow the video to play and then I'll give my thoughts.
I am so heartbroken right now. Being friends with Gypsy Rose Blanchard has helped me to see the world in a way that I never would have otherwise. The empathy I have for people that are celebrities or in the public eye has grown tremendously. To the person who took this post off of our private Facebook and passed it around, fuck you. Sincerely. And I hope Gypsy finally figures out who this person is and gets them off of her page. None of you have talked to Gypsy personally, privately, about life. None of you have sat there and heard her just express how much she just wants a normal life. None of you know the pain that she still goes through. None of you know the healing that's still taking place in Gypsy's life. None of you have gotten a text message from Gypsy at 3 o'clock in the morning saying she just had a nightmare. None of you know Gypsy.
Listen, I don't need to talk to Gypsy Rose personally or privately. I respond to what she says out of her own mouth. And if there's someone in her Facebook group that is screenshotting things and spreading them around, then maybe she needs to just either get off the internet, shut down her social media, or start a social media page where it is literally only people she knows in her actual life. Because there are just too many people that see the red flags with her, and they are going to expose the things that she is saying. And we, as the public, are going to react and respond to those things. I feel zero sympathy for Gypsy, and I have said that for months now. I do not feel bad for her. What is there to feel bad about? She orchestrated and carried out an unaliving of her mother and was such a coward that she had to manipulate a disabled man for 2 years before he finally would do it. She ended up getting a really sweet plea deal, came out, has been treated like a B-list celebrity, and shoved it in everyone's face along the way. And now you're sitting here crying because she doesn't like the fact that people are saying, maybe we shouldn't be making a schmurder a celebrity. Boo-hoo.
Actually love her, know her. None of you know a damn thing other than what you hear on social media.
Listen, if she wants a normal life, then get the hell off social media completely. If you do not want people seeing what you're saying or, giving an opinion about you, shut it down. Get off Lifetime. Get off social media. Stop writing books. Stop doing your little TV interviews. Shut it all down. Then you can say, I'm actually nowhere to be found and people are still bothering me. Then I could say, okay, it's time to shut it down. She's not, being platformed anymore. It's done.
Which we should all know by now is not always the truest form of information. None of you have sat next to Gypsy while she expressed how badly she just wants to just leave this all behind. Because I've had those conversations with Gypsy quite a few.
Do you think that Nicholas Godejohn is also having nightmares at 3 o'clock in the morning? Because I think that he probably is. And he is probably reliving so many things that Gypsy said to him and did with him in person. And those nightmares probably fill his brain quite often. But instead of waking up in a really nice bed next to, old guy over here and being able to pick up a cell phone and whine and cry to Bree, Nick wakes up and he's in prison. You think he can get up and walk down and pick up the phone and talk to somebody that he had a nightmare? No, he has to just carry that. He has to carry that until the next time that he has an opportunity to speak to somebody about it and use the prison phone. And you know who Nick's going to call? Not his mother. His mother died. His mother died knowing that he was going to spend the rest of his life in prison because he was not given a fair trial. People aren't just blindly believing what they see on social media. We don't like Gypsy because who she is. We don't like Gypsy because of everything she did before prison and what she has done after prison herself. We're not talking about reading storybooks and creating fairy tales. We are reacting to what she has actually done, Bree.
Because I've had those conversations with Gypsy quite a few times. But let's look at this post that you decided would be okay for you to share with the world.
posted this. Eventually, the cameras and the fans and the haters alike will disappear, and when everyone has had their bite of the pie, what is left is a woman with trust issues, low self-esteem, and emotional baggage that the prying eyes of the public will never see. I leave my most vulnerable self to the ones I cannot hide from, the ones who see my struggle when I wipe my tears, pat my makeup under my eyes, and put on a smile as fake as the smile is reflected back at me. You are so inspiring, and we want the best for you, I'm told by journalists and producers. Their voices clash with the agenda. The mask is on. Smile. My message to you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, is if you know that all these people have an agenda and that they're just all out there clamoring for a piece of their check, their portion of the check, you have the ultimate power and control to drive and steer your own life, to say no, to put boundaries for anybody. Whether anybody likes you or not, you are the one that have the say. You are a more than full-grown woman and have that ability.
Bob, while you're stalking people constantly, did you think to stalk Gypsy's other post that she posted a week ago? How she's going private? You ever thought to think, maybe this is why she's going private? Y'all don't use y'all brains, ever. You're just so ready to go share something from our private Facebook rather than really think of the words that's on that post and think, wow, this is how Gypsy feels and maybe this is why she's going private. No, let's not think the fucking obvious. Let's go spread another narrative. Let's go just talk more shit about someone. That's all you do. That's all you do. Gypsy is taking her control back. That's the reason she's going private. Barb, shut up. You're not giving her any advice that she hasn't already thought of herself. What do you think she's doing? Why do you think she made that post? Because she's taking her control back. You don't need to tell her shit with your fake condescending post, acting like you're giving her advice. Sit down. Gypsy has been planning to do this. You wouldn't know because you don't know her. You just want to talk shit about her so you can make money. That's all she's ever been to anyone. Her whole fucking life is a fucking cash cow. That's all Gypsy has ever been, her whole life. And y'all continue it in her new life. Y'all all want to use her for fucking money. That's all y'all care about. Y'all say y'all want her to go away, but no the fuck y'all don't. Because it's how y'all make money. But it's okay, because eventually you won't have shit to make content about when it comes to Gypsy. She will be living her life, a life that y'all wish y'all can see inside of, that y'all will no longer be able to.
All right, guys, so I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time and allow Bree to yell at me through the camera because I know why I don't respect Gypsy and I know why I don't like her, and it has nothing to do with her being treated unfairly on social media. It is simply her having come out of prison, thinking that people are going to 100% be on her side and just co-sign any and everything that she did because, oh, it's little Gypsy Rose and she just got out of prison. How dare anyone have a negative thing to say about her? We have the right to have a negative thing to say about her. She has been not only a terrible person from before her crime, but she's also been a terrible person current day. And if people want to come online and speak about that, that is their free will. And if she really wants to live a normal, quiet life and have people, quote, leave her alone, then she needs to, like I said, no more book deal, no more Lifetime, no more, flaunting it around and going on podcasts and doing interviews with Fox News and all of this garbage that she's been doing. It's appalling, and I have no sympathy for Gypsy Rose. And as I've always said, never have, never will. And I choose to save my sympathy and sorrow for people who truly deserve it. And it would never be her or you, to be quite frank. But nevertheless, we're here to talk about it, but I'm going to move on with my afternoon. So if you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.